KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvil's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
The public sounding off in support and against a Dededo shooting range recently forced to shut down. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with a look at the Guam Attorney General's roundtable discussion.
Senators are deliberating on whether GovGuam should self-insure health care. I'm Nestor Leconte. We'll have details coming right up.
NMI farmers are organizing for a more sustainable future. I'm Tomas Manglonia with the story and sitting down with local farmers who share their concerns.
Hafide and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Mick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Neighbors sound off against a Dededo shooting range, which was recently shut down, but those upset over the closure aren't staying quiet. Mitsuki
Hirayama has more from the Guam Attorney General Office's roundtable hearing held earlier today.
That's the sound neighbors of the Sportsland shooting range wake up to. Homeowners who live within 100 feet from the Dededo range share their concerns during a roundtable discussion held by the Guam Attorney General's office Thursday.
This is my family's property, okay? My house is right here. We own all this land here, okay? So what happens if a stray bullet comes and hits me and I die? Who's responsible?
The 2-hour-long discussion including a back and forth between those who feel unsafe with the range and those who feel safer with it.
You guys probably know the most the crime rate on Guam, the severe crime rate on women. This shooting range provides a safe environment for people like me to practice proper gun handling. Yes, and now without that, what happens to me if an intruder comes in and I die?
The island's only outdoor shooting range forced to close its doors last week after their business license renewal application was not approved.
The reason why we're stopping it is because there's a school there, and there's a road there, and there's a subdivision there.
While the shooting range remained dormant for over 20 years, government officials noting now there is a public safety concern as the topography has changed. The Department of Land Management granted a zone variance over 40 years ago for the agriculturally zoned area as there was only one residential home nearby at the time. Still, the shooting range's new owner, John Sablan, says that shouldn't be on him.
In 2018, before I put over $1 million into this business, you should have told me we can't do it.
Homeowner Frank Charfers questions why government officials didn't vet the 40-year-old variance in the first place.
In this day and age, the critical thinking was lost when they said a 40-year variance can supersede the people here. You cannot tell the schools, the students there cannot tell there's an active shooter going on.
He says his home acts as a buffer for misfired bullets and is fed up with the noise pollution. Another neighbor says he was standing in his yard a few months ago when a stray bullet almost hit him.
Ever since then, I'm scared to take my grandkids out of my house because they're always outside my house playing.
But this homeowner says the gunshots have been going on well before the range opened back up.
There are gunshots that go off in the air all the time. Like, it's just a regular thing. Before the gun range was ever there, we bought the house in 2018. At the end of 2018, start of 2019, that was before the gun range opened.
While there were no answers today, Land Management Director Joseph Borja suggested relocating the range altogether.
I would suggest that we relocate the firing range to a Chamorro Land Trust lease near or on the raceway parcel.
In the meantime, that's going to take a long time, probably a couple of years. Am I going to be shut down that long?
Right, let us go to step one first, which is let us look at the law, look at the facts, and see what we can do to mitigate what you're experiencing right now.
But the bottom line, Sablan says every day the range is closed is revenue and rights lost. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Well, a driver charged in a deadly hit-and-run crash in Dededo allegedly told a witness he had to go because he was going to be late for work. 53-year-old Reynaldo Rapido was released on a $5,000 bond after being charged in Superior Court with leaving the scene of an accident with injuries. It was early Monday morning. Police responded to the crash along Route 1 Marine Corps Drive near the Pacific Tire in Dededo. Investigators noting the woman, who is yet to be identified, was jaywalking at the time of the crash. Rapido allegedly telling police he saw something appear in front of his car and tried to avoid impact when he hit the woman. He adds that he waited 5 to 10 minutes after the crash, but police never showed up, adding that he told a witness that he was going to be late for his job on Anderson Air Force Base. Rapido self-surrendered to authorities later that day. Prosecutors note he faces 3 years in prison if convicted.
A man facing charges of attempted murder in a shooting reported in Molesto earlier this month is indicted by a Superior Court grand jury. Richard Roy Sablan is charged with attempted murder, twice with aggravated assault, special allegations for using a deadly weapon, and possession of a firearm without a valid firearms ID. He was set to answer to the charges in court this week, but will now have to wait after his defense attorney withdrew from the case due to a conflict. Sablan is back in court on September 7th. The shooting happened on August 2nd in Molesto as the victim was dropping off a woman known to him to her residence. The alleged victim took off after being shot at twice. He was later taken to the hospital to be treated for his injuries. Prosecutors note in charging documents that Sablan was with another man who had been in a previous relationship with the woman that the victim had dropped home.
3 years in prison, that's how long a man convicted of smuggling meth into the prison will spend locked up.
Defendant Leroy Arreola declined to testify during today's sentencing hearing, but as Julian Hernandez reports, defense contends Arreola is ready to fight his conviction.
Drug smuggling into the Department of Corrections prison. Defendant Leroy Matagolay Arreola gets 3 years for his part in a scheme to get meth to an inmate on the inside. Arreola learning his fate before Superior Court Judge John Terlahi today. A jury found him guilty in June for solicitation to promote major prison contraband. Arreola did not testify during his sentence hearing. Defense attorney James Spivey tells KUAM that his client will fight his conviction and his sentence.
We don't think there was sufficient evidence to support the conviction. In fact, there wasn't any evidence. It was just all speculation. He never mentioned the word drugs. Nobody mentioned the word drugs on the phone calls. He didn't know about it. And the law says that if the facts are equally reasonably interpreted as an innocent transaction, and in this case maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just getting clothes and shoes and shorts. Then that's the way the jury should go.
The parties will be back in court tomorrow. Defendant Arreola for now is asking the judge to be let out of prison pending the outcome of his appeal.
That way, if the court would reverse his conviction, he didn't just waste a year of his life in prison for no reason. And so I think the court may be sympathetic to that, to let him stay released on bail with close supervision, electronic monitoring, and then after the appeal is finished, which takes about a year, then we'll know. And if he wins, he didn't waste a year in his life in jail. And if we lose the appeal, well, then he has to go and start his sentence, and he'll have to do the whole sentence. The year that he spends out on bail will not count towards his sentence.
Arreola is one of 3 people charged in an investigation involving drugs being smuggled into the prison. Co-actor Joshua Sharp was acquitted following his trial. Sharp is now facing charges in a separate drug case in federal court. Co-defendant Lonnie Lynn Arreola, Leroy's relative, is still waiting to have her day in court. Last November, prosecutors alleged the trio planned to hide meth in Lonnie Lynn Arreola's running shoes to deliver to another inmate when authorities foiled their plans. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
An emergency meeting with the superintendent and the Guam Education Board, the details of the discussion being kept hush, as most of it was held in executive session.
The agenda only referring to litigation matters. Still, the emergency meeting comes just the week after some on the board shared they would not be fighting the lawsuit filed against them by parents.
The meeting to the public eye was abrupt and brief.
The Guam Education Board Wednesday afternoon calling an emergency meeting. The discussion comes the week after board members mentioned they would be going over the lawsuit filed against them and the Guam Department of Education. Parents suing GDOE alleging they failed to provide adequate public education for 2 minor students with disabilities. Less than 2 minutes in, the board decides to continue the meeting without the public.
I request that I actually make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please indicate by saying nay. We are now in executive session.
A confidential matter. Still the emergency special meetings agenda indicating litigation matters, though education officials not confirming with KUAM what specific legal matters. The GEB meeting last week to discuss an array of issues, with GEB member Angel Sablan directly addressing the looming lawsuit. Sablan then declaring he won't be fighting that lawsuit, which is set for a hearing on September 15 in Superior Court. Back at Wednesday's emergency meeting,
make a motion that we recess and allow the superintendent and the attorneys representing the Board of Education to come up with some kind of offer, or not offer, but things to resolve this matter, and the board will meet again on Friday, the 1st of September at 12 noon.
the board reopened it to the public only to announce the GDOE superintendent and the ad hoc subcommittee, consisting of GEB members Dr. Mary Okada, Maria Gutierrez, and Peter Atta, provide a plan to the board for consideration. KUAM's requests for more information on exactly what plan they are developing have gone unanswered.
We've got more news in a moment.
Keep it here to KUAM, your leader in local news.
Watch KUAM TV 8 live on Peacock. Check out our live channel, NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
New chicken nuggets from KFC?
Everybody's gonna want these. Let's eat these inside.
Try new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. You've never had nuggets like these.
Welcome back to Prime Time. The new premium rates for GovGuam Healthcare Self-Insurance Program released today. This as senators begin deliberations on a bill to delay the launch date to at least the end of this year.
During the discussion, longtime Department of Administration Health Insurance Negotiating Team member Lenora Cadasso was asked about the impact of a delay just 1 month before the new coverage for thousands of GovGuam employees is supposed to begin.
If we were to roll over, these carriers will have to go and talk to their consultants and readjust and look at the claims, and they're going to have to forecast again. And so that's a whole new set of discussion again that they need to go back and have their experts crunch those numbers. And that's something that basically just through the negotiations is not something you could do quickly. Noting that October 1st is really around the corner, and the last thing we want to do is send someone in 10-1 and tell them, hang on, we're still trying to figure out, are we rolling over or are we going for it with what we already negotiated.
The administration has said the law authorizing GovGuam to self-insure employee health care has been on the books for more than a decade. The GovGuam negotiating team decided earlier this year that self-insurance is needed due to ever-rising costs. An actuarial report indicates an average increase of 15% this year. DOA Director Edward Byrne explains that one of the deciding factors is the high usage by retirees, which skews the cost charged by private insurers.
So they price that in, even though for the government as a whole, the risk is the same. To them, there's an acute risk. To us, there's a serious risk. So by having a self-insure policy, we're taking that risk pricing out of the cost of the insurance. And that's one of the biggest advantages of a self-insured plan.
Minority Leader Frank Blas Jr. has been pushing for the delay, saying not enough information is out and he doesn't believe the administration is fully prepared. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Sorry, Nestor Lecanto there reporting. The discussions continued late this afternoon. We'll have a complete update tomorrow.
As mentioned, DOA has begun circulating the schedule of insurance premium prices to GovGuam agencies ahead of planned open enrollment. The fiscal year 2024 budget bill is now on the desk of Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, who has 10 days to sign it. In a statement, she said there are a number of amendments that require a thorough review. Meanwhile, yesterday's vote was straight down party lines, with the 9 Democrats voting yes and the 6 Republicans voting no. In a news release, the Democrats highlighted the funding for the big 3 public spending categories of education, public safety, and public health. GDOE will get $248 million, public health and GMH will get $228 million, and the police and fire departments $98 million.
Republicans responding with their own statement, urging the public, quote, to pay close attention to the many budget provisions that utilize unaudited excess revenues from years past as a funding source. Instead, GOP senators have introduced a bill to appropriate all access revenue to GMH for repairs and to help bring down some $30 million in overdue vendor payables.
CNMI farmers are organizing to create a more sustainable future and economy for families on Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. Regional correspondent Masman Gloitness sits down with farmers who are planting the seeds for growth.
We need to start producing our local foods, not only for food security, but to assist our people in healthy foods.
The Cagman Agricultural Farms and Producers Association is hoping to build a more sustainable future. The group, which started in 2022, represents 47 commercial farmers. They're inviting more farmers and ranchers to join their cause. KUAM sat down with leadership at a local restaurant where they shared their plans and concerns.
A lot of times we face problems with rotten crops because nobody wants to buy because the market is saturated. So the association is trying to put together the concept that will bring about that crop rotation success, and that is to allow farmers to select certain crop, and through the schedules and timing, they'll be planting these crops on a rotational basis.
They're hoping to work on that plan with the Department of Agriculture so that farmers can make the money they anticipate. Local leadership told us that while they have support from the governor and legislature, they still need more aid in getting updated farming equipment, seeds designed for the environment, and in pest management. They also want to work with local schools to build the next generation of farmers.
The products are very high. So to combat that inflation, we really need farming. This is the time now for everybody to go out and farm. At least, subsistent type of farming that will really help with the economy.
Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Thanks, Tomas. Well, the games are here on your news leader, and we've got more to show you coming up on KUAM Sports to get you ready for kickoff. On September 7th, the Chiefs are at home for the season opener, and they play the Detroit Lions. But before the season officially kicks off, some team ambassadors were busy at work in Manhattan, Kansas.
Coming up in KUAM Sports, Mackenzie Davis talked with two former players and a super fan whose love for the team is getting an honor he's been waiting for. The excitement happens on Guam Friday, September 8th. The event begins at 9 a.m., kickoff at 10:20 in the morning. Tune in to NBC TV 8 for the NFL season kickoff with the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, taking on the Detroit Lions. As you heard Des say, you can also stream it now on Peacock.
And now for a look at your world at home. Here's a night view of Garapan on Saipan, the main tourist district in the CNMI.
Gorgeous, this view plus much more music streaming on Isla Digital Radio.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert a card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
Okay, I completely revised the org chart. Now, where do I go?
Oh, how about right there?
I report to the new breakfast taco?
Well, it does have Jimmy Dean sausage.
But it's a taco.
Get my new breakfast taco, served all day.
Free Typhoon Mawar debris cleanup is underway by FEMA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Stage and sort eligible typhoon debris, including green waste, large appliances, residential construction, demolition debris, and metals as soon as possible at the residential right-of-way to take advantage of this free service. Ineligible debris will be left on site and may result in illegal dumping fines. For updated information by village, visit tinyurl.com/cleanupgu. This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor of Guam.
You could say that the phrase, "get moving," is quite the fitting mantra for Kevin Taitigui. It also obviously makes a super awesome Guam personalized license plate, so someone go reserve that right now. Thanks. Kevin leads somewhat of a double life, as this Talafofo native admittedly has a split personality. By day, he's a mild-mannered administrative officer at GDOE, but come quitting time, he morphs into K-Tai, a motivational uplifting instructor for Zumba.
Here at work, I'm very professional, but when I'm up on the stage, it's just my total persona of K-Tai. That's my Zumba name out in the Zumba world is K-Tai.
Zumba is the fun fitness dance format combining several styles, making it a big hit on an island as culturally diverse as ours.
Merengue, salsa, cumbia, and reggaeton. Those are the basic Zumba moves that Beto Perez, the founder of Zumba, actually came up with. Moving forward, they also introduced hip hop, R&B, all the other aspects of dance.
Having played sports throughout his childhood, Kevin spent 15 years finding success in retail management, then continued working with people in DOE Human Resources. But he never left his athletic roots behind.
And I was an avid Zumba participant. I was going 7 classes a week. There was one day on Wednesdays I would do double sessions. I would go to the morning session or that, and then run up to the other gym for the evening session.
And it wasn't merely being a participant in Zumba that appealed to Kevin. Something about teaching the sport spoke to him as a means of connecting with people and spreading positivity.
As I saw the instructors up on stage, I said, one day I want to do that. I really want to be part of that network and give the audience, the participants, the feel of dance.
And he's making a difference, sharing the joy and getting Guamanians in shape.
Because I have to teach it, I have to learn it, teach it, and then, of course, have the audience feel what I felt when I was doing the routines.
There's also an island-wide respect for Zumba as an effective fitness routine, as Tina Bundicho, the coach for Hagat Tribe Fitness, was front row center for K-Tai's sesh.
Just move. You gotta keep moving. Just take it one step at a time. One step at a time.
But the one thing that both personas share, Kevin and K-Tai, is a genuine love for island culture and a legitimate desire to improve the lives of people through sports.
In order for the students or the participants to feel what I feel, I have to be more energetic. So I bring that to my classes. So Zumba, it just takes you for that 1 hour, it just takes your mind off from whatever you're thinking. So it just, after that workout, all you want to do is just, you feel good. It's like, I burned some calories, and whatever that was bothering you for that day actually just washes away. Hafa Guam, my name is Kevin Tideway, K-Tai, and I am a KUM Sports Ambassador. Okay, bye.
I love this one. It's the one I really wanted to have him bring because it's symbolic of my collection.
The Lombardi Trophy is in the house, in the Chiefseum house to be exact.
Yeah.
This Lombardi is the trophy the Chiefs won back in 2020 against San Francisco. And these rings, they are both from the Chiefs' most recent Super Bowl wins. You may remember back in 2020, I sat down with Kurt Herman as he was waiting to get his Guinness World Record for his collection of sports memorabilia. At the time, he had 642 items.
As of right now, I'm at 1,494.
His collection more than doubled in items since then, and it's caught the attention of so many people.
In Manhattan, Kansas, the world's largest collection of Chiefs sports memorabilia is in Manhattan, Kansas.
One day, Kurt picked up the phone and heard this voice on the other end. It was John Lohmeyer. Lohmeyer used to wear the number 87 back in 1973. He was a defensive lineman and played 4 seasons with the Chiefs.
I was so excited. It was like finally I'm getting some recognition from the Chiefs, and that was very, very important to me, I guess, to get that recognition. But like I said, I think it's not just for me; it's for all fans, because there's a lot of big fans out there, and to get this recognition just means the world to me.
He came across Kurt's collection while reading the news, so John picked up the phone and set up a time with Kurt to make the trip out to the Little Apple to see the collection in person. Lohmeyer put together the visit with John McGraw. McGraw used to play at K-State and finish his NFL career in KC. They are both now Chiefs ambassadors. This is a group of former Kansas City Chiefs players who support their community with local scholarship programs, charitable visits, and more.
You try to imagine what you're going to see, and there's no way. You can't do it justice. This is an amazing collection of Chiefs memorabilia. Kurt's done just an amazing job putting all this together, and I think is very representative of how amazing the Chiefs fans and Chiefs Kingdom is.
The ambassadors didn't show up empty-handed. They even added to the collection, giving him a signed football from former K-State player turned Chiefs defensive end Felix Anudike-Uzomah.
Yeah, thank you.
For the man putting all this work in to show his love for the team, days like this mean more than any of us could imagine.
I've had a lot of people say, well, you're the biggest Chiefs fan ever. And it's like, no, not really, because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of big Chief fans out there. I'm just one among many of them.
Kurt's next goal is to get Patrick Mahomes himself to come out to the Chiefseum.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please? The McNuggets of chicken.
I haven't had a Big Mac in a long time.
How many Filet-O-Fishes did you eat? That's over several months, Ryan.
In Puerto Rico, a McFlurry, it's called a Señor Flurry. 2 golden menus.
A wonderful crew at McDonald's.
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 They're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's.
Are you gonna order something?
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life
life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Well, Des, let's keep it rolling now to see what's happening around town.
Jason Salas has your news bites.
You know what really makes you feel good, everybody? Getting out and dancing. So the Electric Island Festival. Our island is certainly electric in many different ways, but that is what you got to do. You got to have fun. You got to jump. You got to enjoy the music. You got to when that bass hits, man. But Friday, September 1st and Saturday, September 2nd, the place to be is Paseo, as EIF is celebrating a decade of peace, love, unity, and respect. That's the quad right here on Guam. With a focus on electronic music on Guam, everything you need to know and where you can purchase tickets is EIF Festival. They are on Instagram. 10 years celebrating year X. That's awesome. There you go. All right. Looking for EIF tickets at a discounted price or merchandise? If you need the merch, head over to the Westin lobby for an EIF pop-up shop. Man, I love that logo. That's crazy. It is hosted by Salinas Beauty Works, anything for Salinas, between 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will also be hourly giveaways and more. For more information, follow salinas.beautyworks on Instagram. Thank you for making this happen. Again, awesome, awesome event. Can't wait to participate. And the third annual Light Up the Night will be held on September 5th. The walk aims to help raise awareness on suicide prevention, very, very important. The event is on Saipan from 5 to 9 p.m. in Garapan and will feature lights, entertainment, and exhibits. So we got a lot going on. Please make sure to participate because there's a lot of people working really hard to put these very, very worthwhile events together. You're going to have a good time. You're going to give back to our island community, and you are going to have fun.
Now time for birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy birthday on Thursday, which happens to be the last day of August, but the first opportunity that we get to say happy birthday, and we're sure we're not the first because Taya Sablan has a lot of friends out there, and her life is filled with joy, laughter, and love, and that is what she brings to her family and all of her friends. So happy birthday to our Princess Taya. May your day be filled with colorful balloons, delicious cake, and plenty of love. That is awesome. That is a great shout out. Great job, you guys. Leonard Isaiah Torrey wishing you an awesome 16th birthday and love and miss you. Say a very proud Nina, Nino, and the entire family. Samantha, happy birthday to you, Mama. Wishing you all the blessings in life for someone with such a huge heart. Sammy, we love you. Say Carlos, Angelo, and Malin. And Gavin Jerome, happy belated birthday to you, and may your special day be sprinkled with fun and laughter. Man, birthday sprinkles are the best, you guys. Happy 11th birthday. Love always, your family.
Happy birthday to all of you celebrating out there. That's your primetime show. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Stay beautiful and have a good night.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Welcome to LFG Love for Guam, the show where we explore the best of this tropical paradise and dive into the heart of what makes Guam so special.
That's right, Mitsuki, and this episode...
Hold up, Suki and Des. It's time for LFG Love for Guam, The Takeover.
Hey, it's Julianne. Nick and I are taking over this month's episode to bring you the second annual Ina Wellfest.
Here we go! Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm definitely ready. First time? Excited?
What's gonna happen in there? We're gonna get fit and physical and centered? We hope so.
Centered. Namaste.
Mama go.
Good one, Nick. Let's go.
Let's get it. Hello. Half a day.
Walking into the Nico Hotel Ballroom to, well, as you can see, activate your light. First, fuel up to stay hydrated. Talking about putting your foot into it. Can I try the magic?
Is this your first time trying it?
Yes, missing out here.
Not at all. Already looks like we are in for an exciting experience. Starting off with some testimonials from others in their wellness journeys and what lights them up.
I want to move forward, and I've noticed that always leaning towards the good and all the blessings that I have, regardless if I'm having a bad day, as long as I lean on the good in my life, and as long as I lean on my faith, I just feel more comforted.
Basically, help me through the hard times, through the difficult times. You know, it brings people together. What I like about music is it's universal. If you're doing a workout or having a good time, music is there.
It starts with myself, and I think it took me a really long time to understand that like it's okay to say that.
For me, that means really being in alignment with the work that I do and getting to do what I love every day. Also creating community. So I love getting to connect people. I love getting to host events and hold space. And so feeling like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing is what lights me up.
We'll get to showing you what more happened inside the ballroom later in the show, but first, let's explore. So much fun! But it was also the speakers and the host of Ina Wellfest, Livia Marathi, that made this an experience you don't want to miss out on.
Let's get to that when LFG Love for Guam The Takeover returns.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
There's nothing I love more than being a farmer. Every day, I get to care for my sheep and feel connected to the land. Believe it or not, I think it makes me better at my other job, managing Bank of Hawaii's branches in Hilo. Because like farming, banking is all about caring for the needs of customers and businesses in our local community so they can grow and reach their fullest potential. I'm Steven Sylvester, and I'm proud to work for a company that gave a farmer like me the chance to make a difference in my community.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
I do it big. With the Pizza Hut Big Dinner Box, however you want a dinner, we got you covered. Big time. I do it big. The Big Dinner Box. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and wings or pasta.
Oh, hello.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
You're watching LFG Love for Guam, The Takeover, with me, Nick.
And me, Jules. Now to hear from the woman behind Ina Wellfest, Livia Mariati.
So the theme for our event this year is Activate Your Light. You'll see that a lot throughout the whole event. You'll see that just sprinkled in throughout the spaces and the decor and everything that we do. And so when I think about the theme, one of the images that comes to mind is thinking about a fire. And I don't think about a big, crazy flame. I think about kind of the process of building a fire, right? So you have, slowly starting to have the fire start to build, the smoke, the whole process. So when I think about activating our light, I think about how can we connect to our inner light, and it doesn't happen overnight, right? It's a process. We have to add to the fire. We have to find ways that light us up. And so as we go through the day, I really invite you to think about that question. Leaning into that and finding that is something that we can all do. But like I said, doesn't happen, the big flame doesn't happen overnight, right? We have to find ways that we can continue to build that inner light within us. And some of the things that I've done in my own wellness journey that have led me here is, yes, I've explored yoga and meditation and the fitness side and the food and self-care, but a lot of my wellness journey has come from asking myself some harder questions and really getting to sit with that. So questions like, what feels in alignment for me? What people, experiences light me up? Where can I go where I feel seen and celebrated? And even things like what's giving me energy and what's draining my energy. So being able to, I think, sit with those questions and really see what answers come up is something, again, that you need to do over and over again. You don't come through and you're like, yep, figured it out, right? We can go back to that at any age, at any season, at any life stage, and really dig deep into what's lighting us up and what's getting us in the way, or what's getting in the way of that. What season are you in right now? Are you in your winter? Are you kind of going through it, right? Are you kind of in an inward, sort of colder period? Are you in spring maybe, where you're finding some of the seeds starting to bloom and starting to feel kind of coming out of that winter period? Some people are in summer, right, and they're celebrating and they're feeling all this good energy. And some people are in fall, going into winter, right? So kind of going more inward. So even just thinking about that question, I tend to go around the circle and ask everyone that. And it's really interesting to see how many people are like, I'm in winter. I'm deep in the winter, right? And some people are in summer, right? And there's going to be those different seasons. And so even honoring that as part of the process, which is something that Sophie's going to talk a lot about today, and being able to sit with that, right? And be okay if you're in winter, that's okay, right? Then being able to go back to those questions and being able to move through that.
Wow, what inspiring words, and this was all at the start of the festival.
Definitely getting us teed up for the guest speaker. Sophie Jaffe is a Los Angeles-based health and wellness expert, superfood entrepreneur, co-host of the IGND podcast, yoga teacher, and mother of 3.
Sophie founded her superfood company and wellness brand Philosophy with the goal to make it easier, more inspiring, and more delicious to attain optimal health and radiant wellness. But as she shared, it's her personal journey that got her there.
So my mom's always been a fighter, an activist, a warrior, a trailblazer really. She was such a fiery energy, just such a vibe. Also really intense, and we had a lot of conflict growing up because we're both really strong personalities. Anyone relate? So In those last few months, I really got to know her on a deeper level because there was no judgment. There was nothing holding back anymore, whereas before there was a lot of like stuff between us. I just wanted to know everything. I wanted to know everything about her. And in those last few weeks, she was on a lot of painkillers, and the cancer was like eating her brain, and she was just not fully present. I just was like so hungry to get to know her on a deeper level. And I said to her, Mom, you traveled across the country, right? You drove across the country, the US, which takes a few days, like with, sleeping, stopping to sleep. And she looks at me, dead in the eye, and she's like, 21 times. 21 times. And she doesn't just mean like get in the car and drive with a friend. She took my then sister, 1-year-old sister, who at then was 1, now she's much older than me, drove across the country to start her life, and she hitchhiked. Like, this was her spirit, the example of her spirit. So, yeah, just that's her energy, that's her vibe. Me and my brother and her growing up. But yeah, so because of this poor prognosis of such an extensive late stage cancer, my mother chose to leave on hospice and be at home with her loved ones, celebrate. She was partying, inviting her friends over for dinner parties, just enjoying life, not obsessing over like final days and trying to prolong it, but instead just to enjoy it, to celebrate.
So much more powerful insight shared here. You'll have to attend the next one to see for yourself.
Totally. But I gotta say, my fave part, she had us feeling like Taylor Swift, shaking it off.
We're shaking off this block of LFG Love for Guam. The Takeover is back in a moment.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
New chicken nuggets from KFC? Everybody's gonna want these. Let's eat these inside.
Try new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. You've never had nuggets like these.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Let's keep this LFG The Takeover going. This month's Pepsi Pulse is a Guam man, a father and husband first, and former Olympian still doing big things to help others and represent Guam.
Sean Pangilinan giving us a talk to inspire. He is the owner of Fit Lab in San Diego, who has helped so many people train with intention.
Sean Pangilinan! I'm very excited to be here. I am not nervous at all. But 15 years ago, when I left off island to pursue higher education, I made a promise to myself to gain enough experience and skill set to bring back home. So I just wanted to say thanks to Olivia and the team at Eno Wellness for saying that for me and making it come full circle. Today, I would like to share my experience and a concept that's helped me achieve my goals and the goals of many people that I work with. The concept is simple. It's to train with intention. But in order to train with intention, we need to know our purpose. We need to know what our purpose is, which is the overarching reason why we do what we do. Intention is a way to get there. It's a roadmap to where we want to go. Our intention is the driving force behind our goals and our visions. Without intention, there's no action. You can have the roadmap to success, but if you're not in the car, turning it on and driving, you're not going to go where you want to. But training with intention goes beyond the immediate goals of getting better, feeling healthier, getting stronger. It's about what we want to achieve in the next year, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and eventually until our time expires. It's the impact we want to make in this world. I'm a personal trainer and the owner of a studio called The Fit Lab in San Diego. I have an amazing career helping people get fitter, stronger, and healthier. I help people train with intention. But before all that, I was born and raised here in this island. I went to St. Francis School. I went to Emi Lahan. I participated in my first sport with the Jonya Dragons baseball team. And then I went, Jonya rules. And then I went to Abida Johnson and I fell in love with basketball. And then eventually I graduated from Quality Duenas in 2005. It was at this point where the concept of training with intention started. You see, while all my classmates were getting ready to select a university to pursue a career in medicine, law, engineering, business, all I wanted to be was the best talent on the island of Guam. In reality, I really did not know what I wanted to study. I struggled to find purpose. I struggled to find direction. But I'll never forget what my cousin told me when I failed to confidently tell him what my next chapter would be. He said, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you're the best at it. And in 2008, I surpassed all expectations, and I secured Guam's first Olympic bid in canoeing. And so I dropped everything, lived my life at the best paddle to pursue, to represent our island in the Asian Olympics. This is where I really started to understand and learn fortitude, resilience, making the most of every day and setting your intentions. And I share this story because during this time, the direction of my life was led by a dream of being the best. I truly believe that once we open our heart and ask ourselves what it is we truly want to achieve in life, we'll be able to clearly define our intentions and work relentlessly towards our purpose. Because you will put in the required time to plan, to prep, the work, to make it happen. I quickly realized that every person I worked with, they wanted to improve their health before things got worse. And that's when I had my aha moment. I found what I was looking for. People came to me because they wanted to learn how to properly exercise to prevent injuries. They wanted guidance on the best nutritional practices to improve their health. They wanted someone to hold them accountable to make positive, lifelong, healthy habits. They all had a strong why, and my role was to listen to them, to guide them, keep them going, be their biggest cheerleader, and most importantly, remind them to train with intention. If I were to
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Today, when it's supposed to be family time, I'd really just rest because I'm so exhausted and need to have the energy.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Loving and compassionate, to be confident and courageous, providing them with experiences and showing them both the good and the bad in this world. And most important, allowing them to follow their hearts and pursue their dreams relentlessly.
Keep reppin', Sean.
Doing Guam proud. We wrap up our takeover of LFG Love for Guam. Next up, time to vibe out.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Typhoon Mawar debris cleanup is underway by FEMA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Stage and sort eligible typhoon debris, including construction, possible at the residential right away to take advantage of this free service. Ineligible debris will be left on site and may result in illegal dumping fines. For updated information by village, visit tinyurl.com/cleanupgu. This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor of Guam.
Trust falls? Really?
Ah, come on, Jack. It'd be great for morale.
If I wanted to raise morale, I'd offer a choice of 2 sandwiches plus curly fries, a taco, and a drink for only $6.
Thanks, Jack. I trusted you guys.
Try my $6 Jack Pack today.
Love for Guam is brought to you by Taco Bell, Live Moss, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
It's been a blast taking over this episode of LFG Love for Guam, and thank you to the Ino Wellfest for having us there.
From the takeover to the toss, we close out the show with your I Love the Nightlife segment, a performance with KPV and the homies.
KOAM TV8, first on Guam.